yeah, they are free. It'll be fun. I say, no be wo. That is November 2020. Then so, 2022. Nana do Akuffo Addo that's what I say. Ama or no, so for now, we can't share come far. The president so no be no. Onu mu afa ho ato na nanu mu wansi edoma. Ewi etwe no the chopper and amananado.
You see, this should be a lesson for us. First of all, I apologize for our intermittent cuts in this particular program. We are trying to resolve the issue. I will see why all of this is happening. But yeah, sounds so echo issue. No swa. This particular man prophesied say Akuffo Addo be. I watched the video, and some of can that day and say Papa no, their forces are working tiano, and that was shortly before the election. So okay,
yeah.
Oh, but the force working tiano no say Ghana for near Santifor. He specifies as Santifor near Chinfor. Say yam boom and be who am bomb pie, Papa ni be woo. Akuffo Addo be Akuffo Addo be woo. Sana Odifour TV kind. And also obi woo ama ebe shock Ghana for nyina. And then one you are shock Ghana for.
And one castle.
Owu bia yo wu na obi ani wa. O wa asase we so a wu a e wo say wu no ye jubilate. Yeah, because it shouldn't have happened. But at the end of the day, look at what has happened. So this tells you, say, before we need to move past. Akuffo Addo, Uncle you be a who a born, and Uncle say okay. So and so is seen to who Odifour community. How do you think it will have gone? Maybe so. So it clearly tells you, say, Akuffo Addo knew what was best. Who said a panel or a charlatan. In church, and he's not going to put his faith in men. He's going to put his faith in God. And at the end of the day, this is the results.
Okay, so you're back for honing in a chow part. So for Tawiah D3ath, the president and not done Akuffo Addo before Crown Sana or Barbie Fimua, my who say in church and now if you say, and I said, do you think the president already know? Almost on one back as far same way who went the prophecy by so be free mono one be make any statement be any other debate obejia to Musa say what they are channel and yet we be a chinchini dear I beg say it was a man so train my main bisa.
Once information about say Pinax no be no smart delegation and mom compare the president that I think says something on Wankasa ye who said I don't know yen 1 year. And I really applaud that because the whole thing about Christianity is to live a righteous life and for you to forgive somebody. So basically, Papa no be wuno. Our rich hospital. A bright report by a party say why Yari with kidney disease for the past 1 year. Odifour the name now hono. To say Okon in Chenkra now we media person kwebe pamon. Nina e kosu ni nyina no. Na say Papa no reflect on the life. Madam for being catcher me say maybe a utrika okonya accident no. Fitting in kola brim be pim ni pen in breast a flashy wood in him. Nipa bia be wa all your life. The ye the 1 year usunu buying everything a flashy with him within just a split of a second. In the Odifour community, I believe so be him so be. And he started having reflections, soberness, guiltiness, regrets, happiness, and also there be. There might be no, I was some ceremony factor. Now I pay the chairman. And no time or some other delegations or Akuffo Addo at all. But regardless, Akuffo Addo be jar to an own gene too. Akuffo Addo the one country, Benipa, and was say Odifour community, assassin we so the we need dear. Nipa Odifour community also send Boniface. Nipa no. Me can say I can't know if it's from God or not, but say Yankupon our tastrono. Bonibia Odifour Ibian. So the better no fan channel no. No Odifour into Mwasem. So this is a very sad news. It shouldn't have happened, but then it has happened. I believe so I will say a great lesson. Say my fire rare and Shinipem. You know, these people were all Ghana prophesying. And Ghana can Japan be winning a maniema. And then look at what is happening. A clear defiance, a clear big defiance. It should teach us a big lesson.
Okay, it should teach us a big lesson. You know, what we are saying na we hu ha wa ni penyi na ebe gro akwa na so ni penyi na ebe ko so for kwabna tewi ansa na oba be fi mu no wa pana na adoda Akuffo Addo chew say on fa ne boni nche no nyoye ebia otia na na so kwan bi so no on fa nche no yesese be wo bakra ko toilet gu na so a enya de a wo betwa na mum opepa nti no did so said the president and adoda Akuffo Addo wo de boni bia so for kwabna tewia aye no ache no na yatoa abrabo so na so no so atoa na memu akra obu esunti ebusafo na se eno no nsam de bebre na eba efa ne yekoso ewa ha na se ne yeko ye papa kwabna tewia nsense ebusuafo we all know say say the obaga na ha the big political party or had the main political party ewa ha say no de MPP any NDC but before ebe ko no so no that's why our prophet kwabna tewia ne nsem ne so ene achopa ode ama the president and adoda Akuffo Addo no no ankasa in general na bra ba obe leave ye any ade and I don't know say aside so for kwabna tewia ne juma o ye asosofo no na o ye jumadi fufuro bi ka ho because Ghana so for you say baby na for strategy ebi wo school ebi wo hospital ebi wo businesses bi stores bi kra bi bisa ebi aside say obey impact amount for life with the gospel no baby fufuro bi e wo ho no ma o ye kra adi bibi ma amount for na say amount for so beka so because of so for kwabna tewia ade we any ade ameka se minya ye empo adwuma bibia nipa betimi odi abusi se odi so for na chi no bibi say.
Well, we can't vehemently say sanam di kankan no papa no media nkofo bibia no mo ben mo kono ho omo ni di nkomo but one thing about me is I never for once really spoke with him. It me any really candid knowledge about him do I work kumuni and ade but from afar ni suni ne ban ni me bia na me on social media no I myself I was not happier in pimp you know I asked myself questions na so for na ultimi rim ekoye sacrifice edi niema basiri niema gu kwa say it was so weird you know but ono no part to say any teaching sena ajagraja ewo Ghana ha so you know Ghana has said the law states we have freedom of speech and freedom of expression. So at the end of the day, if or no ajagraja, Odifour kwabna tewia or ye ne na any freedom na on titi obi afa ho die so why not? There's freedom of religion. So media in as much as from afar, I mean who say nema bibli no to me no it was not in line with the Christianity I know. Say you know a whole lot of things. But as afia nipa ne wu ne be judging the Bible say we shouldn't judge us to be judged papa no we wu ewie it no the aka ne say your ye no e onu Nyankopon temu asem but I don't really have any more candid way about him.
Okay nti Ghana fo so a judge no with ni church ni nyam ejuma oba be ye no Bible require say ye mani nyina mbomu nyini wo twabre no so a rade na beye bebre na aka no mfinyame ena efan ne kosi he no best friend se nyina no manyame nye na adwuma se da ma ye nyina yekopie mu nyame anim na se judgment day se ne ye ka no asofo na preach chire no na yekokushia ye papa kwabna tewia na ne se ne mate wo ho no ne nyina akwakutuwa aside sofo ajagraja anwade ne se mashada ko Facebook asofo binum pages shempo senka yebe posti sofo kwabna tewia na yatro rest in peace sene sofo ajagraja etro ye no na ebimpo yakase Ghana sofo raho eyomo ya se omu nipa omu ni nyina nyamijuma sofo kwabna tewia every mo but I don't know meaning say na one who be sad dia aside ajagraja posting no who be sad dia well e beto aso nti Ghana sofo enim so mont e be free enoso na senior midi kan say Ghana had the two political party a obaha eye juma in fact omo followers and omo candidates and omo me who said emenka no nipa be supporters Ediomechi the New Patriotic Party NPP and the National Democratic Congress NDC. Now of late NDC for chema send ye niema ko Ghana ha ye abuse amount for pasa ye so we are near human rights but then ye NPP government no 80 amount for rights so ediomo call left for bro mo pese o me be call left now. Sam na me no kasa sisi any day and that day there was a press briefing na call so Accra ha na press briefing no ema ye hu eye nieme bi a esisi ewo NDC for party name petitions bi ne nieme bi a oma churchro area koko baby. As I am talking to you now, the General Secretary of NDC Papa Johnson esi edunketia General Mosquito ama ye nyina ye hu say the National Democratic Congress NDC me no kasa sisi you know omo the petition akwa Commonwealth Secretariat say omunye hwehwemu for this certain government NPP how are abusing the rights of Ghanaians or abusing human rights ewo Ghana ha or abusing rights bebre a enye ensem ketewa. According to Papa Esiedun Ketia, in fact, senior Niama Kowahano or Meninjo when it comes to our judiciary, enquiry, political persecution, enquiry, abuse of human rights, and no can to normal Commonwealth nations say there be Senior Ghana, we are a member of this Commonwealth and preaching about this thing against of human rights norms and whatever but this government introduced team grab before any campaign and the messages are okay and the right but on all bad government no like I say you preaching here in 2016 and the real feeling na another than Akuffo Addo don't carry but we jai amene ye journalist say and you can say na bobi ansa ya chino Mensa Thompson wakwa remanda but na Oliver Barker ye de na Courtroom remand na we ye de na fa ha eyade a etete and obi antimi nka bi e ma ne nye say ye Commonwealth Secretariat for no more and ebetimi ashade we this is the petitioner the National Democratic Congress through Papa Johnson Esiedun Ketia oma ye hu say we any na mo NDC etua omo hwe ni mu every Commonwealth for ho na omo so timi abona Ghana ye freedom na ye wo as humans yetimi kasa freedom of speech yetimi ka etwe ya adwen no obi yetimi atwe na adwen so ene unya akobie wano a obehu a se nya remand ye do beko ene enye chi ne bechi wa ye be ma invite fe ye invite wa okokodru wo pe na yakacho say oh unko fie bi o obeda ha adechi a ya grant you bail of bia 10,000 Ghana cedis bia na 100,000 Ghana cedis do with some sureties here we are still adechinya ye san court and your court na bibia she so and no era with NDC petition to Commonwealth about Ghana ha nye make say you say probing into human rights any how the government say 218 or abusing the rights of Ghanaians.
You see the word abuse I would use, and I don't know where the abuse is coming from. I don't think government is abusing the rights of individuals. So let's take the abuse off and let's see, say, let's use a more nicer word like government. I don't know the word to use, but we shouldn't use abuse. You can't abuse it. Say, yeah, That
is what the petition said.
That's what the petition says, but that is not the reality. Say the BIA Akuffo Addo are corrupt. Say the BIA Akuffo Addo are wicked. We say Westerns. Why haven't they come to arrest us? You see, the whole thing has to do with the limits that we talk. What am I saying? We've said a whole lot of things. Akuffo Addo I say, but the limits. Say, we are journalists like Oliver Barker. Now, what can say Ghana military are useless, and they need to act and take off a sitting president. That is not a fair speech. That is not a free speech. That does not fall within the context of free speech. We need to take you on. So, in aid of these things, I question a bit of what the Unyania Captain Smart, you know, you read the Captain Smart case head and tiller. See, you realize, say, I say, you shut down a person bit to a panoso. And it's obvious that upon a boy PPH, it's here for CIA, then I'm meneno. Ushe will be inside the na. I mean, I don't understand why somebody would allege, say, Akuffo Addo Akwaji Asasi AU village. Then the police storm his radio station to go and arrest him. Hello? That is not right. We are no so few a sepa boss or see Akuffo Addo mba at the private jet to crime. Then he is also being arrested. Why? So some of these cases need be I wouldn't say it's abuse of power. I wouldn't say it's abuse of their human rights. What I would say, and at the context I'm to say, these people, no, and the Ghana police is kind of fighting the rule of law. They are fighting the rule of law in some context, but in a certain context, no, they are right by using the same law because Oliver Bakedi and Kenjaman in Kana. Akwana waka say Akuffo Addo has connived with judges. Na ombe via election petition and Kenjaman in Kana. These are false pretenses. We go your friends the judiciary fee. Ideally, it shouldn't be serving 2 weeks and also room for more. But this same scenario need be where the Ghana police is going overboard. Like the SEPA boss, the Captain Smart, the issue which has to do with Ayebubi answer. This issue clearly it's not your friend's idea was here chum. Akuffo Addo air complaining said Obiza Wakota Asasia. Akuffo Addo you said need to ana no ono ehun mininimu. I don't sue the person and the Ghana police will have to go and arrest the person. That I can say the Ghana police was fighting the rule of law. We and also few the one which had to do with if anything ASEPA board. You see, some of these cases where it doesn't make sense. But for NDC to move further to say drag it MPP to the World Court and I say to Commonwealth Court because it's abusing people. Which abuse? Which abuse are they? You couldn't power Ghana has say. Fine, you arrested him. Have you killed any person? So we need to know how to talk about these things. They are making it seem like Akuffo Addo a dictator, which I don't think is true. Okay,
the petitioner NDC for their Commonwealth no ma omo responded to ana omunja wankaso wenyehwe bibisa bali se ono so ne hawa o feel say ekoso no end Ghana so we are part of that way into there was almost two and money be crom no be chimo ko NDC and say net any day but they can say e abusing tino ma Chasenka that petition kwa say eno so ntwaye.
Yeah, I think that petition itself ne because we share the real details of a year in Sema a year NDC for Edo na. I have a copy here. Let me give you the details. According to the National Democratic Congress, Omo petition Commonwealth Secretariat to investigate and subsequently sanction. The word is sanction. You see, so they are not saying they are petitioning them to intervene. Intervene is they be jinemu and be jinemu. They are petitioning the Commonwealth Secretariat. First of all, what is the Commonwealth? Commonwealth here countries are the British colonized here. So all the former colonies of Commonwealth and of British no omunyina gain independence the omunyina be boom na my Commonwealth. The Commonwealth here with Jamaica, here with India, here with Ghana, here with Nigeria, here with South Africa because these countries were first colonized by the British. So all of them are back together say fine. We've passed colonialism. What can we do now to achieve a common cause? Because you guys are using our law. You guys are speaking our English language as official language. And you're back together and say, yeah, for me, the Commonwealth. So look at the word. 2 words clocked in one. Commonwealth. So NDC are petitioning the Commonwealth Secretariat. Now NDC for petition, almost say, yeah, investigating, now yeah, sanction Akuffo Addo administration because of bad governance and human rights abuse. Please, this is a blatant lie. Blatant. See, a say human rights abuser and can was say investigating NDC. Why not pencil? Yeah, trini power form. Why not pencil? Judges, yeah, bomu to kuomo. 1 and a half pencil, there was sheer wickedness and incessant coup d'etat. Obi kasa radio sooner against a sitting government. 1 or 2 pa yenhuni bi silent, if anything, finishing. Who should we take to the Commonwealth? I'm asking you. So you see, we've moved past that because in as much as NDC, the patapa and the bar government mono, we also acknowledge their help. We've moved past that. It's a democratic world and transition. No, they don't meet my eye, but they don't meet my eye. One say government they can move to your friend is speak about it, condemn it, or perhaps sue them in our local parlance. But move it to Commonwealth say, yeah, sanction Akuffo Addo. Why should we do that? Omuru if you say Kronubo omuso mutimubi. So Commonwealth case almost sanction Ghana. Ye ma escape ye ma. Omani mu ye dia ma amon timubi. Ese din keti antimubi. Your friend say ofoso ampofu entimubi. That is it. Now ohwe niema omode koye na me chemu ye on why NDC4 ever on this particular thing. They are saying press brief your moye wa Accra no. One party according to Johnson said that petition is to draw attention of the international body to instances Akuffo Addo abusing the judicial the judicial, the political, and the abuse of human rights and also persecution. You see, we all support NDC's cause, but this is evil agenda. You can't PhD ebinye because who corner ko sanction Akuffo Addo Commonwealth. Almost all my escape yima Ghana see any scar. You see ministers going to mean to Omukana. One one ebebre, enye ya na ebebre. You'll be the same people saying so minimum kuyi. So they are citing Akuffo Addo 1. Say international criminal courts and also the Commonwealth. Yes, sanction Akuffo Addo because oku nipa wa Ghana. Number 1, 2, or abusing nipa rights. 3. Judicial system na Akuffo Addo e de aye chapia. The open or the case and was a command krebe kwama no. This is what NDC has petitioned the Commonwealth. Na o share insem ni nyina e se ni nkete e party say niema we nyina e koso no e Akuffo Addo ni sune ne ban oye wo Ghana eduntia na wa petition Commonwealth because Commonwealth they are against these things according to Commonwealth no say e norms and if any say anti-practices, but according to and these norms and anti-practices no Akuffo Addo Ghana has now almost can be we'll try and put this thing on the screen because this is very, 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 very important at the end of the day. And trust me, in summer in as much as I don't think say NDC4 should be left in the dark no, this particular petition to sanction Akuffo Addo and his government, trust me, it needs to backfire real quick. Because I'm catching say Confuboni say so that is it. Before then, we would like to put something on the screen. This particular thing is able to screen so you will realize say at the end of the day, NDC4 agenda command the Commonwealth say yen sanction Akuffo Addo government yen gunu crack evil. Evil, trust me, Matina had defended NDC several times, but this particular agenda evil. Me no makacho say MPP ni MP4 ya de na meka. NDC4 so ya de na meka. So don't expect a mabetina any bootlicking. Now, let me put this on the screens. Now it's for what is actually going on. We and the NDC4 petition saying Akuffo Addo. Is it very sad? Now, what is on the screens are now. Also, since assuming the reins of power in 2016, the message of physical violence against political opponents that Nana Addo preached and championed before the 2016 general election has turned into structural, institutional, systematic forms of violence in the form of human rights violation, harassment, and political persecution against members and supporters of the NDC. Share. And said in Kitian, some more kind evil. They say evil. They say, or say, since Akuffo Addo eba power no, Akuffo Addo or repeal the criminal libel laws. And then I say, okasa about human, and now okasa about city government. Bet you what to honor Akuffo Addo repeal. But NDC4 okasa, even though he repealed that, no, or by an idea, Akuffo Addo so uchemuno, or no Akuffo Addo or ye. You see how your NDC Nina or Ghana you kum. This according to the statement. Is it true? Is it true? I don't think it's true. Or say, oh, Kasa against NDC, a bit chill, a bit cool. Into you, share words now, or say, a human rights violation, political persecution, and also your friend is a harassment. I say, or patches say, then I'm about to be NDC. We no so say, apart from political opponents, several journalists have been arrested and detained under the governing New Patriotic Party. This particular statement of Muka and in as much as Mitimaka saying no creno, a febine no cre. Say Commonwealth be jina we so sanction Akuffo Addo nkwa omudika. There are certain journalists in Ghana. The Makacho say Anya Akuffo Addo nkwa na president. Tieni. We've seen Kufuor, we've seen Rollins, we've seen Atamels, we've seen Mahama. Into me Mbambe country say Obisa or Irakoto assassin to be. Hello. That can be classified under human rights abuse and abusing journalists. It's not the Omoka you didn't cry. But so be a Casa Ghana bebo military useless. They should do a coup d'etat. I didn't tell a man reporting will be answer. I didn't tell a man reporting Nipa no can say Akuffo Addo judges I won to overturn an election. These are not true. And per the law, no, I was say, Nipa. Now, this is what NDC people will say, and this is what people will say. Say, oh, an abuse of power. But I want to ask NDC a simple question. Say MPP need what kind of sense we are. Do you think NDC for empowering and say, okay, so MPP nyako kan yeneshwe? Say MPP need what kind say you overthrow NDC government be a better power from 2024. Do you think NDC will not say they should go and arrest the person? They would. So let's call a spade and stop trying to say change na Akuffo Addo. Sanction for God knows what. We are also few they are saying here in citation say because Bobia and Samoni Niamaniemano, or shall say a crime friend presenter Kwabena Bobia and Sam was arrested for the publication of false news, offensive conduct, while Power FM or Hineba Buama was jailed for 2 weeks and fined 3,000 for contempt of court. There are countless calls on President Akuffo Addo Dankwa to let his actions reflect his support for the promotion of human rights. So in the Febino about the journalists funny there omudika, but say Akuffo Addo harassing Curs3 there, I don't think it's true.
Okay, and do you think say Ghana and politics no because of propaganda obia per se onye nyonyam we per se okan we oje we na Ghanaian suka so was it's become I dirty too much. Won't say democratic way near what but it's becoming too dirty to the extent say this petition will go to the Commonwealth.
You see, I don't think it's becoming dirty. We'll be able to show what say your friend is saying. You, this boy, you are so biased. You speak like you know everything, and the only wise and intelligent boy in Ghana. Everything is going well for only you. Your pocket is so full of money. You see, this is the problem with Ghana. Nipo trust Flossie Williams and Wallams. Flossie Wallams. You see, Flossie, let's look at these issues critically. NDC has petitioned the Commonwealth saying sanction Akuffo Addo in the government. And the citation in that is that Akuffo Addo abusing human rights. Okunko like more like a dictator. Yen kind of cray. This government and this country has been peaceful for the past 8 years. Even for the past 20 years. In this particular administration, the country is peaceful. There will be one or two things we need and not just say we need to use that particular thing, say, because certain journalists were detained unlawfully. I was see a generalizer no. And I remember big can say so ka osi enkoyi akase enkoyi emawo. Men ka say maye yet kroma say skeni ha go to East Legon, go to Osu club and see the people are chilling. Obi send a watch 150,000. That is a good. So you can't blame a thing or generalize a thing. But the issue here is there's been some important argument and cause. Bobiansa arrest. I've always said you're unlawful. It was the most silly. Your friend is saying, I don't know the word to use, but it was the most silly movement by the Ghana police to barge into a radio station and go and arrest him. But come in here or say President Yakota, I say, why won't the president's wife go and arrest or sue Bobiansa? Because a clearly libel. This particular Captain Smart issue, I've said it countless years, say, it doesn't make sense. A separate issue, say Akuffo Addo, and then buy you private jets, and it does not make sense. But you can't say these issues, it doesn't make sense to me and you, no. We need to generalize it, say Akuffo Addo, it couldn't say India me. Please, Ghana for, and no cray. Let's be honest, on many more a yampa. Certain people are being harassed, a yampa. But for you to drive to Commonwealth and say we need to, it's very bad. It shouldn't happen that way.
Okay, see the act of Papa John CC, look at us, NDC in general, Senior Kano, a very bad say, Omobe, a adhere, I was here for, and that they may know, say, a year Oliver Barker, a year Mausi Vamawo, Ekopimo, a way Shamai District Court. The treason felony case now, and says, so now. Bibi Koso our courtroom wo. In fact, Lydia Cram at the judge, I will see a dreamer or no na a yentim dinner for AD seminal has to be Bako now points will be able to D na seminal acosono eshe say debi. Abrantiano, yen fanning free courtroom wo. The oil no nyamon sama. In fact, it's against the rules a year courtroom ho. Abusian for and shemu ebachima emra deep proceedings no so I will court mu ho no ma ana yes the lead justice was a wanya ono na lead counsel ma Oliver Barker seek an inquiry on the court authority to deal with the matters cost Oliver Barker no ho ne bill conditions say court we betimi grant we near the other court ni chima mo pese mo file for ye bill la say bill na mo pese mo file for the ene mesre mo say mo be call high court yes e hono mu na yes e hono na Oliver Barker no so me de me pay baby a me bisa obi a for bill me can't obi a so obi a ma me bill na judge say abrantie mesre asama ye kan fa wo ho ebe yanka kan wonu tum na yanka se mna so na se ye ma wo kwan na kasa Oliver kasa me la mo boa mo ye den kasa Oliver kasa me se me mbisi obi a bill in fact sa court we de kangaroo process pa na mudi nipa famu wa ha ene Oliver Barker kan ha fa kan sembebre na judge say debi ade abrante ni ye nani enje ho ntini ye fa ne nko enti ye fi na ekọ no won de wantena ho bibi obeda no wonder ho ma ni mba courtroom ho kra bi na rulings a ekoso no won mba say no enye amafo ahye kaseti say the fact Oliver Ghana fo bi ka so treatment no sheda nye ye ni nje ho no sese Ghana penifo anase courtroom so wo ko no yesi obi na adwuma mu brofo adai na bibi say ekoso a na with the attitude and Oliver Barker na di wo courtroom ho any judge no so response to the attitude no Oliver nye ni ye judge na nye ni ye ana oye ni ye then I will can about this issue na see what courtroom.
I want people to look through the lens and see said this whole Oliver Barker thing no akwa no the gain popularity. Let me give you the instances in courts. Share ye che no courts no the Ashaman District Courts no e can verbatim say Oliver Barker Vamawo no baby a ye de na back court no and baby ye de na ba no because Ashaman police for nechinity definitely obekwa Ashaman district come no mo prosecutors no court any who kwan say ye be bail no omo court the reason omo cite and say they cited the reason based on jurisdiction say jurisdiction say ye hwe baby a court e wo ni tumi a no omo san so ka say begin omo by na charges omo de born ye your friend is saying misinformation and offensive conduct. But in the prosecutor no call for amendment. No, because son year no. Your friend is saying treason and a felony of treason and a treason felony. Now a ban is no more say because of the gravity of treason felony. Because treason felony, even in constitution, you see that I say we hang you by death or we give you for life imprisonment. That's the minimum. Inti enya dia treason is say wako kan dia edi okun bebo mani mama fu bibu treasonable offense. And until umpire said the court does not have the needed capacity to grant Oliver Barker bill. The first thing I was looking said the Council of Oliver Barker and they say quickly they'll move and seek another service, and I said they will move to the Court of Appeal, and I said they will move to transfer the case from the Shaman Court to the Accra High Court or perhaps the Supreme Court. Osha lawyer Udi Assembly Nima Akuffo Addo, the personal lawyer Akuto Ampao. So why didn't they take this initiative? Rather, they went to state certain things. Some per se, arrest, unlawful, and detainment, and fact, which was rejected also. What am I saying? Which was also rejected. So why is that up to now? Akwano, omun transfer case in Accra High Court, in Berlin, which means a agenda. Omun yet to tarnish the image Akuffo Addo's image. Because as some Akwane kind, young kind of a treasonable offense. You said the military is useless, number one. Two, you are saying, say, whatever is happening, Ghana about 11, see, G11 tuma, the citizens and military should take action. If the military does not take action, they are useless. That is a treasonable offense. And you exactly, and I'll pattern, a quantity pattern of insemo kana. Dibio heli kudita, Malifoye kudita ni niabeje. Now, Sasa da bend than a gun, they be do so. Odifour for ya no abeka, Guinea for ya no abeka say da benda. So shall quantity pattern na or frefre kudita. Before then, do you know this guy lives in UK? Akwayi. Almost my mean dear bet. Ushe asam no kay jimisem. Akwayi to UK, Nigerian member are covered under high security shield and a proper systematic country like UK, United Kingdom. Now I would say I would preach for coup d'etat and a bar. Would they be affected? A 2 year day cry now it's Marco embassy. UK ho. I can say okay because of war no do ebusu afọ ba na me ne wa yen call to go put the name and na ya mami mo omo organ no ni passports on betimi to so wa o ka sensem no etu ye enye we ne e beka se kro no ba utim bi untimu bi e kro na ba on ye da untimu bi. That is why it was necessary for the police to take action. So if they really feel say Ghana some no kind of misinformation, they need to take it to the Accra High Court. But and they are using this to leverage and now to seek fame and dent Akuffo Addo's image. You know, we share in Sema and is for the command, the Commonwealth, High Court to say the World Courts now, or Mr. Akuffo Addo teaching Courtroom now. They want to use Oliver Barker as what? An example. Say, Moncho, Akuffo Addo, Nipa Bako Wachina Tuma, or woman see Oliver Barker. Good. I said that we don't do those things. Now, you do call quarter. You see, this is what I'm saying. Said the whole thing is planned by NDC. It's being planned by this particular man and some gang people who are against this government. Somebody better trendy. Yeah, now because if you are doing your judge with martial conduct, I grant you bill. But Judge Kasa, ne so bill na mo pen. I just am the call High Court and answer. I just say, "Ewa minkasem pay bill." This is Oliver Barker's words. Yeah. I've not said I want a bill. The whole process is sham. Remember, some people Oliver Barker and they can't court to. The whole process is sham. It's a kangaroo process. You are saying this in front of a sitting judge. Can he do this to a UK judge? In the name of human rights? So a judge they say, if you continue to talk that this way, and you have to take you out. Your caution still he was talking, so you need to throw him out and go and continue the process without his presence. Which means Akwano on pay bill. Akwano on pay bill. And you're planting. Because when you say money bill, pay a grown guntino or use that. This is a live video which was captured today. Orban, Shefans or the Ghana flag at Tunukum. Or a hero. There's no heroic part in this. This foolishness. For you to say, cry, oh, mammy, no papa fimu, and bonnie coup d'etat. Do you know what coup d'etat will bring? Maybe South Diakos where Ukraine we need your home. This is just what is going on in Ukraine is just 2% of what will happen if there's a coup d'etat and the people retaliate. Said the Ecowas Ukraine we need Jwa Mayan da and some coup d'etat on da. People don't know the gravity. He's a young guy. It's in Rawlings 1974 coup d'etat. He didn't live to witness it. If he had witnessed the coup d'etat of Rawlings, he would never ever have prayed for coup d'etat. But here we are glorifying a coup plotter. This is how far Ghana has become.
Okay, nti we ni your call so ewo courtroom ende emra Oliver Barker aye vomawo bra ma usi ekopie mu ho ma judge ka chen say abrantie mo fa ne nko mane mo fa ne bigina courtroom mu ha kura bie se ya na de bi obeba begina ha ye na ye kasa no ma ya no nsi no to aso de a ade a entwa ye kranti na je say eno no nti Oliver Barker vomawo ne nsem no na with this said case no send na woka say ye planting no oma trend. I think 2 weeks grab by remanding 2 weeks grab by no the court.
Yes, you remanded no what the court has done is based on his conduct and unwillingness of the lawyers to comply. It's Omasa Edinburgh in remand for another 2 weeks. So from now, because last time I heard a story, they were scheduled to appear today, 28th of February 2022.
It was 14th of February in a court.
And Obesa appear in court 14th of your friend is saying March, which is on a Monday. And no, clearly, what shot near my course now. The guy in the soon in the chair say,
yeah, sentence about to them.
Yes, or pardon, because on him said, and Andrew say, Udema or the hero of the story. But trust me, he's not the hero of any story. He's not the hero, he's the villain of the story. Only any Panawaya there, because Judge beat martial conduct. Judge beat martial conduct. I can say, okay. Akwani Sunin Ibine is contrary to charges at Yabon because trust me, nobody is guilty unless a court of competence jurisdiction. In the end, to me, in Castle Oliver Barker is guilty unless courts have proven so. He's a suspect. It's based on his conduct, but the guy is not willing to comply. For you to say this to a sitting judge, saying the whole process is a sham, which means who no kuta ulterior motive. What I say, we look at ulterior motive to disrupt the services and paint the president bad, but it's not going to happen.
Okay, it's was for Oliver Barker says, but the fact say the lawyers, I want to say, for a particular reason, to us with process, say, you move the case from maybe a Shaman court to a Fanco High Court, a honey baby granting bill. Now, Kofi and for more. Interest be and for be binti omo ye way na tarnish the image of the system and the government omo clients no soon obey them and e no answer na be go against or no it may be a beba for now the obe feel say we be against the government and be dimu be but e be we echi ono ana baby sa e be kwa kwato abusuafo sani edi kind of updates ba kuma mo efa a petitioner NDC for the Aquacoma a Commonwealth. Nina is Omo Chima Hawa Nansing. Ya arrest journalist. Anyhow, ya abusing na ya abuse your mono any idea. Now with arrest Honsen Semono for Frasamba. And with this arrest, see a freelance, a journalist, be anything there, yes, a Sakut. I don't know if Sani body in there, Sakut Omega. And a cheer no so, your money reminder, that Rebecca P.M. court, any now, Wahasea, any assem. So I was on for a see a year court process while we need to go P.M. Courtroom, Nipa be Baba hot, or more a decomplainant, Nechi. Omo a di accused nechi omo he neutral omo do mu ni heli ha omo ba be hwe ni ensem ko be hwe ade fo no mo so kwa omo akwa akonye bi akwa akoka ene ade na no na be to just say abranti a ne din di Sakut amenga etegoyi ye che no 24th of February ni enti a che nyina ne say courtroom mu ho judge tie dwemu a ye di asem na lawyer be jayona I put it to you. Ne can ena say no na branti ene de. Yamanfo focus you on in some way so amanfo no ti ade na bi mo chiro we on de debi. Ono nko na ne fu ne kura no ne quality me try ne picture quality no very high ne video quality ne de anya asankato ne we kasa ne watwa ode ato wa no watwa ho na je ne hu say ade abrante de enye justice leader or say mafu hu ya pa no chirem say national security mumbra abrante we mu konkwachi no yakwa akwachi na me no ka say de ye detaini no and penishmu about you ma ya order ne say on fa ne phone and bra na ne password that's no on famra send be ya with investigation you be who videos I would do try e phone so na ne bibi e wo ho no mo no ya bono a ya ageni the case no you say next date no on the 14th of March so new univer back anyina be date near but different courtroom sir very painting for now dear ya remande abrantie any asem kutua asem we dear emu erem kakra yes ne well ebi ananabe won chichi papa ma because me dey mention dey who case yes court ne will be say dey remand.
You see, you don't see the case because you don't know the proceedings in court.
Okay.
Let me spare you that. You see, first time I made call court, I was also naive. Na me ni me bebre, but I recount my first day in court. We had a court case na we're working on. No, I'm not a lawyer. By the people think I'm a lawyer. I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a person who likes law, but me a lawyer. So that's a clarity. So my first time, and I say my first time in court, during a case which we were involved and another party were involved, beginning, your friend will be, and now because the case is being in all court, into a free case now, a baby more defendant plaintiff, no more sorry now, so one more no more first, I end like order, first come first, I want to say be put it, into your friend, almost sorry at the defender because not that time you cancel him by your friend your friend is saying the defendants any the plaintiff your both defendant why your both plaintiff need not plaintiff need to her and opeja ninsa a ho and soldier ni police ni say hey my friend get up I will call too hey my friend get up just sorry and I say your honor is asking you a thing respond yes my lady. My friend respond or get out. A wana Nipani say, yes, my lady. Or say, are you Mr. Wine? Yes, my lady. Yes, my or say, Lord, Bema judge, lady yes, my lady, yes, my lady. And I yes, your honor. And I'm saying, wow. And your highest shit. So you see, the whole lot of things go on in court. Now, in court, you don't have to pick a call in the courtroom, number one. Two.
So often was silent.
Good. You don't even have to record any of the court proceedings. Video, audio
are not allowed.
Are not allowed. If something is allowed, I just say you because okay, we are journalists, and the minutes of it. And no crown be a confidential. And we are the court minutes in more court clerk. Bibi ekosu bia ni nyina wo obetimi nya information of all the proceedings in court interactions near the adini. So you see a idea and this guy in question now who the video on the screen he is no ignorant person or a NDC man, which is not bad, but also a journalist. He needs to know what is right. Why was he there? He was there to witness a case about illegal mining and all of a sudden the guy started taking video. Hey, why would he start taking? Which means you need the home. And I make catch on say, "Sa anyama here cause why I say, Akuffo Addo is abusing people. I reporting or Commonwealth no. Usha, people are deliberately good. People are deliberately trying to pull the man down because one or two mistakes be a Ghana police here by arresting certain people like Bubi and Sa to me, I think a unlawful, and people like Captain Smart and Asepa Boss to me a unlawful. A man for the who Jim Brunibeka said they are infiltrating the whole process and tarnishing the name of Akuffo Addo. It's or more reporting or Commonwealth. The first thing they will say is that Sisiano Akuffo Addo, wachi Bubi and Sa, wachi Asepa Boss, wachi Captain Smart, wachi Papa We. Oliver, you see a planting. What you know, good
journalist. Watch you.
Yes, a planting that evil people have planted. So you see, say beginning, this guy. Look at what the man is a journalist, or you well-known first person. Maybe you did not grow a Power FM, Radio Gold, and NDC stations, Accra FM. It's on the law say you don't have to take videos and Myanmar is not allowed. So why would the guy be taking video? A brand judge to try any question. Your question is somebody about your agenda. And Akuffo Addo harass journalists. What the guy did, we need to ask ourselves, is it right or wrong? Wrong. And per the rules and the statutory codes of law, a contempt of court and a violation of the court proceedings. Because we try video now the court on court proceedings and I don't know if I study abroad for case. If you want your case in the crown, I'm show TV so no more can. As some of the pictures they draw. You are not allowed to show your friends the vivid pictures of them. You have to draw in a form of a visualizer. The ones I say the court and almost cannot draw judge and courts of the people. You can't show the against. You know it is wrong, but he went on to take a video of it. Why would you do that? If you say Akuffo Addo FIT journalists. Meanwhile, we are not condemning this guy's act. It's MPP ni na yeah. Kambeka say yenchino. Adi na NDC ni aye no. Mo say my yenchino. And to me, a planting. So MPP. This is why I say MPP for biggest problem communication. They are not looking at all of these things. So it is taking me to point out these things to them. So I'm going to share the pattern. All these people are matched up. It be a lawful, be unlawful. It be musu di omu Jim. Oliver Baka say my money bill. Hey, I didn't know say my money bill. Ni itimi dia ye argument. Sa Akuffo Addo the harass journalists. These guys has clearly done something in contempt. No itimi dia ye argument. Sa Akuffo Addo the harass journalists. We need to be very careful in this country.
Okay. And with this particular man, not in the case, you know, as only see 24th, and ya order national security for the phone. Now my password no. Sir, I think say even the Chiobi crowd police station now, police need the right to go through the panel phone just like that. As you hear some order B or some. Yeah. You know, the court say what order national security no. I don't know if it's a process that we go through near the man remanded there. Well,
we don't have information based on that, but what we know is that what the guy did was wrong. Yeah. It was in contempt of court. Let us be honest. Let's condemn his actions. Let's condemn his actions. What he did was not good.
Okay, and do you think, sir, with that particular journalist, as you are saying, say he know the law and when he rules and regulations and what Courtroom or BBR, but still he went on videoing the process, you know, comparing Oliver Baka to this guy. Do you think, say, how Oliver Baka the see and the remand the appearances in court, you know, is going to be the same thing or be follow that full steps now and so no the ABR or be going to run and follow the rules and what Courtroom.
One thing say you follow.
Follow. I just say what you say where the agenda when your agenda 111 and no cry who send the conti agenda na we are not saying say near see no a planting a man for yet to tarnish the image of the president and other than Akuffo Addo. But ultimately joins and your bedroom be a yanka baby side but yes I run to you know their pictures are NDC near but for now the MP NDC will be about it. Obia for number 2 mu say Papa John say don't get here him say be omo twen ye papa den abusuan for ento kwasisi a koso ama ewiase nyina kasa about this ento kwa Russia any Ukraine and since Russia invade Ukraine a crew ma on capital Accra ne de nyasem ketwa ewo ho na we dey say ento kwa you know ye nyina ye be hu say ade a Russia president yeah, Papa Putin. Ebe ma one in palm, we are singing us. Wow, would you wouldn't now? We have 4 by year, none to quiet cost between Nunia, Ukraine president. Now, dear, Obaba, your watch mine, Oba Kwama, everyone, no babble to my cake. Now, we now send the 80 threats. A band of crew, so the man for so no more for say, eh, yeah, any minimum now, by responding to say any papa who say be also quite on to cano. Or best send it, the troops are brown, my will say yes. Or Honomona, any Ghana for shas, yeah, can't stem 9 year headlines be yes, and another casa, now my for shall say a video, almost translated, Papa Nakasa, one and another, yeah, or best send it troops are be good Ghana. any Togo border someone who say yes or ye bear ma eche no na enye no kre. I was your for me no kase see the president and Addo Akuffo Addo wakasa about entokwa ekosisi, and in fact we condemning this Russia invasion of Ukraine. Etima the act of Russia for here no enya kra na kwan fa so yes ade we sene papa na ma won ewo country mu na Addo Akuffo Addo amfa Ghana din ne koma won no. We all know said the president is the chairman of the Economic Community of West African States, Ecowas. Na asem we mu no and I will issue this way. Now it was for and Addo Akuffo Addo in a statement. What the call was say the Economic Community of West African States, Ecowas, is following with great concern the military invasion of the Republic of Ukraine by Russia, which has led to human casualties, particularly among civilians. Ecowas strongly condemns this action and calls for both parties to stop the fighting and to use dialogue to solve their differences in the interest of peace in this region. ECOWAS calls on all parties to ensure the safety of the citizens of all 8 member states living in Ukraine. This is a message from ECOWAS to the Ukraine, Russia, into Ecos one. The chairperson for this ECOWAS, is no other say the president and Addo Akuffo Addo. And if this message and our statement about we all know say no need to pay bill or share chire because no now yet training say almost friend is saying say poor mini echo training what I say in another Akuffo Addo the asem we are manent ye hwe Ghana for be na chime na yesere wo my entina ha wo de 11 no ye beje atu bebe na asha na ye beje isi amafo asha se ehu enfaso e wo so say Africans ye beje ye hu atu na ye depending on our own self than depending on foreigners no be ya to kwesi say Russia Ghana bibia you say ye bejaiba because into kwesi nyama bibe say or the koye nukuro ye nti ensem de awo ye nim say free na Ghana for an Africans ye best try adwen na ye hu bibia but say Kenya for so ban Russia from bibi I don't know send na ECOWAS.
Yeah. So once again in check same comma T4 this is a very sensitive matter. It's okasa na wakani, but you see people don't know what is going on. The main motive of Putin is to revamp the old Soviet Union. Many people did not come to meet the Soviet Union, but I came to meet the Soviet Union. People who were from 1990s, or even the late 1980s, you guys will know the history of the Soviet Union. We share the history of the Soviet Union officially, the Union of Soviet Scottish Republics, that's the USSR. We share a socialist expanding the whole of Eurasia. It's Europe and parts of Asia, and Eurasia. It was housing many federal republics, but throughout, your friend is saying, the early 90s, you say the Soviet Union was what dissolved right after Putin, the walls of Berlin, breaking the Soviet Union empire broke down. Now break it down, share the history of Putin. Now Putin started as a KGB agent, more like a spy, and as a secret service agent over Russia. And he even schooled in Germany. Yes, I spy for Russia near that. Your friend is a politics or serve as a public official, head of security. Or rise through the ranks and be a vice president. In 2000, the year 2000, Nipa no president or hand it over Emma Putin to be the president. So Putin crown. You elected democratically. It was president handing over man, and since then, Putin has been the president for the 22 years. Now, mistake Russia for I get currently they say they've brought a law, law no media they will make Putin the president for life. So at the end, you see, people are talking, but at the end of the day, people are not saying, say, okay, at the end of the day, the Ecowas Russia, no, you put Putin off. He doesn't care if you are going to vote him off or not, because the constitution is a president for life. And in a way, Russians are saying, say, in as much as the West and also other people in the world, no, they are not understanding them, no. In a way, Omo said they need to be heard, because what share Europe, NATO, that's NATO, no, it's more like alliance. Many countries are about the full meaning of NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Many countries are about together for a common good based on military, infrastructure, technological advancement. NATO. NATO no a more pro-West. Pro-West, they say America for what do you call it? US for or and UK for in Germany. So Russia is opposed to this NATO. They view them as a threat. But you see, NATO, our more closest ally, which is Ukraine, no, NATO wants to what? Bring Ukraine on board. They were just in the process. And no, I didn't talk away. Russia believes that they bringing Ukraine in is a threat. It's a threat because a vivid example using this. Ghana, your next door neighbor to our your friend is saying east, your friend is saying Togo. After Togo, we have what? Benin. After Benin, we have what? Nigeria. It's funny say Ghana, your name Nigeria aircon. You need Nigeria aircon and Nigeria for a alliance be omate. Sa alliance and Nigeria for no. First of all, omude Benin eka ho yankasa. Miki ni Nigeria for yin ti Nigeria for expand omo share so omo
Togo aka.
Sisi a omo di Togo ebe kan ebre nim say ye
ben
like yenka because mo ba pe ye feel say mo ba be absorb ya extreme be attack here. So this is why Russia is saying say they feel threatened. And now almost okay. And now and also Ukraine and Russia, they are close ties. Omo kasan krati president Vladimir Putin, Russian, Vladimir Zelensky, into their native nkofo a omo fi Russia crown omo tini omo motherland Ukraine. So they feel more say okay, we are part of you, we are one, and we don't want to accept this because say accept here. What will happen is that in the future, no, mobile be a threat, and I say mo ye border into me. So this is where all of this thing is coming out. Obviously, Russia chose the war path, which is very, very wrong at the end of the day. And end of the day, all these particular problems ever. But Akuffo Addo coming out to condemn this attack is the right thing. See, so because we Ghana, we have a lot of international bodies condemning it. And as the Ecowas chair, he has every right to condemn the attack of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Because trust me, this thing Ecowas estimated amount we will see over 3,000. They shouldn't die. It's something we should never ever have happened. Yeah.
Okay, Sasanka, a name away na AC. But AC. Me see, you know, acquire nipam you know aircon and a Barbara Bomukrana is said we are no you know, send your say they are family. Russia and Ukraine and we are not say Timuka Krana Bansi and you are no me no kwa. Who is the right person that was say Oma into Tieba a comb yeba Abujo Abutoyem Eba. Who do you think say is at the right position now? Ebema this into quiet cause for Ukraine and a Russian team no ABC. You
see, somebody has posted a comment with Nana Adwa or say I hope Ghanaians pastors stick. Okay, that's what. But I want people to know, so whatever is going on in Ukraine, so because say war, coup d'etat. This is war. You guys are seeing it on TV. It can happen in Ghana. We don't want. That's why you're saying nobody should do a coup d'etat. Now, let's help by putting this on the screens. One area view of how big Russia is. First of all, no, you ask the question: so who is the right person to intervene? Obviously, the UN is to intervene, but the UN organized a meeting, and Russia is still standing on their affirmations and affirmative action said the omo yen new kwan no. Now we share what is on the screens currently. Yeah, how big Russia is. Russia is very big, but omo can EU and European Union omo at your now we share map no near yen kese more. You will realize a particular trend here say there's a country a bena Belarus, Moldova and Ukraine. What you say? Oba down you Georgia, any Armenia. All of these particular countries, no, Russia have attacked them in the past. All of these particular countries, Russia have attacked them in the past. Iti omudi kan attack Georgia. O share neighboring na o share Russia. O say omu next door neighbor, Georgia to the south. Omu next door neighbor, Georgia, which is to the south. On omu west, from the top, Lithuania, Latvia, Moldova, Ukraine. Ukraine is the second largest city and largest country in Europe. What am I saying? So, Russia, say European Union and EU or my NATO no say the Ukraine for can one. Omba be ye borders are. See, I know ye the okuna ba wabubuano. Bibi ni bit me ayedin about history, and that is what Russia is preventing. It's not the same way now, but before that, no, analysts say this whole thing no, they don't see it say idea Russia because on per se your friends NATO will invade them. According to experts, they are saying say it is happening because at the end of the day, no, Putin wants to bring back the old Soviet Union, and that is not going to be possible. What should the question now? Even in terms of now, there are many questions. People are asking, say, at the internet, your friend is saying US for attacking Russia. First of all, US has no right to attack Russia. US had no right to even attack Libya in the first place. But Osha Adewe Ukraine, for example, Ukraine was advancing to join NATO and even EU. First of all, can EU for contemplate, but now EU wants them to join them. Until they were in the process of joining NATO, but because someone can NATO, per the NATO alliance, no, so who attack one country, all the NATO countries will have to storm in action and defend. But because Ukraine is not part of NATO, US cannot do anything. Yeah. The only thing US can do is to provide intelligence. Russia for troops air advancing to Ukraine. Yeah, but more intelligence, no. And so far, all these things, of course, US intelligence has been great. Yeah, but catch us okay. The course, no, equipment. So you see that US is doing this from the democratic and I say the diplomatic perspective. They are giving them artillery. They are giving them intelligence. They are giving them aid and money. US have not involved. This is the same thing and at the same stance Germany, UK, France, Canada is doing. Nobody is evading them because they are not part of NATO. Immediately it extends to a NATO country. We are going to see the World War III because per the NATO alliance, if you attack one person, all the other members will troop to action. So at the of course, we see US not going by it because Ukraine is not part of NATO. And why would they like to go and support a person on NATO? Because they've not bounded them by treaty. They are not bounded by treaty. That is why we are seeing all of these particular things happening.
Okay, see, was your for what now? Person the reason is here. It be a US form whom could she be not say, hey, na China for cry where all they are waiting. They say, US who be ship no support you, friends Russia. Na country else support you, and then a boom, and yeah, a banner, Kobe Bini over for him.
Now, you see, the other question people are asking is, at the making Russia feel so big. Russia is very powerful. In fact, even with the economic downturn of Russia, Russia is number 3. The world powerful countries. Number 1, US. Number 2, China. Number 3, Russia. Now, the US here, number one, obviously will be their infrastructure, will be their, what do you call it? That's the GDP. That's the gross domestic product. And adibaku bima and also ebeka your friend is a military aircraft and a technological advancement. US number 1. Number 2, China. China infrastructure, their manufacturing population, and if any say infrastructure on field, into shall be made in China, made in Nama my powerful, and instead of coronavirus by China from producing bibino a day or moon producing near me use as essentials, no, or shall the hotel be by. This shows you how powerful they are. Now, Russia, in terms of gross domestic product, or GDP near the other, they are doing well, but baby, Russia for ya dear power or beat China, any US, a military. Share? Yeah, the US military warheads, any China military warheads, you will see the US is nowhere near. They are a little near, but Russia is far ahead. And when China deal with our course, I mean, because Russia president was alerted, and now I'm West for them who say, "Munimna mo the mumbe for limua." Because Russia no more bombs no ese ebi ase US abobo no pe. Inti ye to na even hypersonic. And no ye to ba kwa mi nua ba ye frɛ city be Hiroshima and Nagasaki or Japan. Go and see the history. It destroyed the whole city. They've advanced it. This thing can destroy the whole of US, just one. So it should tell you, say, even though US have the, your friend is saying, I don't know, the Iron Dome near a bit much cheap, you know. This particular missile, no, a bit obliterated US. US will retaliate, but then the day US might win, but a month will be no, near my best say no. War bar, it will take the world back 100 years. Because the best says, near my baby, ready across to Ukraine. Acquire a year for $400 million. Yes, say no.
And we city, I say.
Good.
We have to two hospitals.
Yes.
Schools.
And then the day was so, saying many years. A cabo, you are retrogressing the country.
See, Africa for more call for war. And a Ghana military. If he say a buy a who or and a fine could see here. And I be video be among for a list of a year top 15 African countries are military. Enye easy. Unti mi fa omundi agro. Me abotre only punish as ya kind 15 ho at the best one. And on pokai 1 cause if me hear ni ma say odia. Se Ghana yen share one okranka 14, 13, 12 more baby. Enka me hu me country proud Ghanaian. Enka 16 to so kranka me ni se Ghana still me hu yedin. Ghana yedin nim. Nigeria for the issue. It's Ghana for air quality for war.
So yes, this is it. Ghana for a section of people because war the idea into me. But now, me per se be too screen so near how this thing is going. In fact, say you compare US military and the Russia military. I want you to see the main reason why is the whole point of US is to avoid war. This is it. US don't want war because US feels they have a lot to lose. Russia does not really have nothing to lose. They are not world number one. They don't have the best of economy. But more and more the best of economy. You know, what I say, for example, it's just like the product. The history of the old Bible, Solomon, Obine Neba, a buy. Yeah, at the end of the day, you see, say, Baku Neba no no. The Nibane she was not concerned, but the Nibane etiaseno. She was more concerned. Say, okay, so so US is very concerned. Say, baby, me do no. They can go to war and win, but Charlie, the distraction will be too much. Now, let me put some. Let's put something on the screen. What you are seeing on the screen, comparison the US versus the US versus Russia military. Now, now what we are seeing currently, you know, military budgets. Military budget to Russia $43 billion. US $738 billion, far more because of money and Makato said US was casting Russia. Main battle things, you know, Russia war has seen 13,530. So that tank now, your friend is here, you showcase 6 match. Ghana DNA 50 or something. Russia for DNA 13,350. US for DNA 6,209. You are seeing the difference. Good. Apart from Sikano, you see Russia is winning here. Your second one also aircraft carriers. Aircraft carriers, no, Russia were 1, but US were 11. Amphibious warships. Russia were 20, US were 14. US this is here. Good. Cruisers, Russia were 4, US were 24. Destroyers, Russia were 11, US was 68. Frigates, Russia were 11, US. No, frigates, Russia were 15, US were 21. Corvettes, Russia were 40, US were 9. US were 9, that's sea vessels, no. Russia were 40, US Nibi. Are you seeing the difference?
Yeah.
Nuclear submarines, Russia was 28, US was 68. Non-nuclear submarines, Russia was 21. Don't joke. US was 9-0. Military aircrafts, US, Russia was 1,379. US was 3,761. Attack helicopters, Russia was 404. US was 867. Nuclear weapons, the whole fight is nuclear weapons. Because nuclear weapons, the soldiers 4,000 million, a simple amount. Nuclear weapons, Russia it was 6,500. US DNA and Drama you see 5,500. But you see on one update, say 6,125. Military satellites, Russia 409, and the US for 141. So you see that there's no real clear winner here. Have you realized that?
Yeah.
Exactly. So Russia, US really wants to avoid war now. They want to use sanctions, diplomatic talks to solve the issue because a ban critical. I believe US will win because US intelligence or more technology are far advanced than Russia and even China. But at the end of the day, a basically say one more lose super your friend is a US. Having a flamboyant economy like that, not it will be destroyed one day by war is something that will be a MPC a better in the country.
Okay, so for not just say a small brief about Russia and US ban military
and Russia so asanso at the warning akoma countries a bent we share graph na edit to screen as well. You see say almost the warning akoma other countries like Finland, like Estonia, like Latvia say the so Russia no Ukraine no edition they should never go and join the EU and NATO. What and any graphical representation at to screen. So you see here we have Poland, we have Ukraine, we have Romania, Belarus, Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia. These countries are at the end of the day, Russia for say this what is going on in Ukraine. It should be a lesson. If any countries around their borders join, and that's good. Now I want you to look at this particular thing very well. Okay. First of all, Russian President Emma assumption be, and I think say assumption on my end, it makes sense. As some Russian President Vladimir Putin, can say, Fanny say Russia for a year, the National Alliance of Russia Federation (NARF), and now Omako Canada, say Canada enjoying you. No, you say US, any Canada, any Russia munka. Now Russia, catch Canada say they should join their thing. Do you think US will allow it or not? Knowing that Russia a threat to them, then you see and Russia absorb a immediate neighbor into a more confederation on my end. Do you think US will say yes or not? Because US, what do you think US will say? I'm asking you a question. What do you think US will say? US will say no because what is going on in Germany, between Germany and Russia, the Nord Stream 2, I will produce oil from Russia to Germany, US beginning a course on Donald Trump said he doesn't like it because it made Russia too much power. Even in Europe, the neighboring country, Germany, US is against it. Or my cancelled Nord Stream 2. So they feel say a threats about Russia a most superpower. So Russia is saying say let's stay in your lane. US be in your lane. Germany be in your lane. And let Russia be in our lane. But immediately are using our neighbors into the EU and NATO. Yes, you have to say a threat. No, you have to say one day, maybe I'm here, we now one day, maybe Bombay, I take over Russia. So in a way, Vladimir Putin in his mind, he thinks that, oh yeah, dear, Yana is fighting for a cause. But if you want to fight for this cause, we have dialogue. If you want to fight for this course, we have dialogue, we have diplomatic ways, we have sanctions, but you don't have to go on a bloodshed spree. So this is the account of Russia. In a way, too, they want to bring back the old Soviet Union. They want to bring back the old Soviet Union style.
Okay. Ebusuan for na say we any near Ecowas Russia any Ukraine in sense minimum na chichemu kakra I don't know chichemu kakra I don't know. It's somebody a hard ye pa and maybe not.
Now one question I can also bisa let me say ukunu try to know but one question I can also upeso bisa escape on say what is going on. People think I do well in analysis. I don't say I'm the best. I'm trying, but the question is what will happen next. Well, what will happen next is per the sanctions are airborne. Russia is looking at two things. Either said they'll go all out because they are sanctioning them from FIFA, banning them, taking them from SWIFT, a whole lot of sanctions. So right now it's like the world and the West countries is doing their worst on them. Inti say or they'll say it's not enough and after what is going on. No. Okay, on person change because Russia offer talks a meeting with Ukraine, which Ukraine have accepted, but then the war is still going. So in a way, Russia does not really like what is going on. Ban no mind from FIFA. You don't want to be isolated. You want to move when the world is moving. So what I think will happen is that Russia will use two methods. Either it will go full scale and it says, okay, the ACBA or your friend is saying, Russia, no, the ACBA or the ACNT between we and Ukraine, you go full head. Now, ya annex Ukraine after Russia. Annex means say, oh, far country in their show team. And I said, the course in a year, your best out now back, akasa, near going to agreement and say, okay, the M person being somewhere joining EU NATO. Man joining EU NATO, no problem. But joining EU NATO, so if both sides are able to agree on this, fine. But Ukraine can say, with immediate effect, they want to join EU and NATO. And that is the thing, because immediately, see, this is it. Look at this very well. Share? Per treaty now, and a transatlantic treaty now, almost sign. Yes, say, sign it one. Country, NATO countries, if you attack one, if you attack everybody. You find it say Ukraine can NATO. And that BBSC between Russia and Ukraine and Kosovo. Don't you think say per treaty NATO Ukraine assign? Don't think say US will bring and I will also join it. Immediately US and all NATO countries join it. I bet that then World War III. So this is the whole thing at Kosovo. Russia has a threat to them because all your NATO allies will come and join, and we will also retaliate before I realize they are starting World War III. So this is what is going on. So I think it's either the Russia will pull back and let things slow, and they'll do some meetings. With the meetings will not go and reach anywhere, or they'll go in full scale and absorb Ukraine because a band of manpower party Russia is doing what. But see, I say, Ukraine for an aircraft, a tip and crawl. Russia for unleash more big weapons, like the tankers, like the hypersonic bombs, like the nuclear bombs, like the nuclear weapons, like the nukes. Unleashing it there within one day they can, but they want to go head on head like military battle, and that is why the whole thing is delaying. But so far, Ukraine for so they've done well in standing up for their city. Vladimir Zelensky is a person. You were telling me earlier in the afternoon, you said, Anna, we need a young man like Vladimir Zelensky, because you were telling me, he said, even though he said this off air, you were saying, he said, one is Ghana. Do I think Akuffo Addo will go to the battlefield? He can't. Police for rather protect. If I ever fly in a to a safe place. But this man, a young guy, but that doesn't mean so Mahama in action. But young guys, so mobile. But what Vladimir Zelensky is doing is a true showmanship and a true leader. Where is be kind a bra US for offer and say yen fan bra you be money place now the plane by fan wa be US near keeping it safe or say I don't need plane or flights or food, I need ammunition to fight. And that is a phrase which will be in the history books for the rest of the life.
For the rest of the lives, 10-20 years to come, I'm on this history, the mama 2022, the month of February, they see Ukraine. na yaka say po abakwasem efa the president of Ukraine e ho na be hu ensema kese a amanfo betru